And you are welcome. Thank you for joining me, Winfrey. Together, I and Winfrey have very special guests with us here today.
Yeah.
We are joined by award-winning filmmakers CJ and Oge Obasi.
CJ now is known as Fiery, or the Fiery One. Wrote and directed the feature films Ojuju and O-Town, both of which has screened in many festivals, including the Gothenburg Film Festival and Fantasia Film Festival, garnering acclaim from the likes of Scream Anarchy, In the Wire, and The Hollywood Reporter.
So many of them. CJ, Oge, you guys are welcome. Good to have you guys on Wake Up Nigeria. However, from your different locations where you guys are. How are you guys doing?
Fine, baby.
We're doing good.
Well, fantastic. Good to have you guys on. Now, I cannot wait to talk about your latest work, and I'm talking about Mami Water. But let's not start from there. Let's start from Ojuju and walk our way all the way to Mami Water. Did you guys ever think that you guys would be up for so many awards as your films came out, your short films and all of that? What has it been like for you guys? Let's give us the experience so far from Ojuju to Mami Water.
You want to answer first?
Yes, okay, let's hear you first.
It's been interesting. It's been an interesting journey. We started off Ojuju hoping to just tell a different kind of story, simple story, but you know, in a way that is very entertaining and different from what the genre we tend to explore more regularly, which is the rom-com and the drama. Ojuju is a zombie movie. It's a zombie film.
Okay.
The zombie. So we set out trying to show what we could do, what we could offer the industry. And it basically took off from after it won Best Nigerian Film at AFRIF, which is the African International Film Festival, in 2014. And it's just taken a life of its own since then, and traveled the world and been to so many festivals. And what's really fascinating about it is that it's a zero-budget film. So it was incredible that it had such an impact. You find it on the list of greatest zombie films ever made, and a whole lot of critics lists. It had a very, very incredible run. And after that, it was not long after that we came up with the idea of Mami Water, but finding the funds and the right support to make it was a challenge. So in between, we made O-Town, a gangster thriller. We made Hello Rain, which is an adaptation of Nnedi Okorafor's story. Nnedi Okorafor is a world-renowned Nigerian-American author. And then we had Juju Stories in collaboration with Mike Ramonwa and Abba Makama.
Okay, then. That's interesting. That's interesting. So,
all right, so now, I mean, we've had Ojuju, O-Town, Mami Water. It seems like your stories are particular. Now, what would you say is the core, right? What would you say is the reason you produce the movies or make the movies that you make, the type of movies you make?
The inner child in me would like to make movies I would have loved to read as a child, but I devoured fiction, all genres of fiction, and I love to see movies I would have loved to read. So that's my biggest inspiration. Taking local stories global, the way we also consumed as kids, we consumed foreign movies, you know, Indian movies.
So I see what you I see what you do there with the with your kind of movies.
So for me, I always wonder why it seems like our films cannot go beyond Nigerians, Africans, and Africans in diaspora.
But that's what you're doing. You're bringing Nigeria to the rest of the world. You're bringing
other regions, and the motivation for me basically is taking our stories as they are, without the flaw for anything, just as we are, in true authenticity, and then exporting it to the world.
So CJ now, CJ, are you still with us?
Of course, CJ is with us. I've got a question.
Yes, I am.
I've got a question for you, CJ. So obviously, your genre is kind of like horror, but then you tell it in an African fashion.
Yeah.
Ojuju is one thing. Mami Water now, let's talk about that. Mami Water is our local, let's say deity. There's Yemoja, there's all the rest, which you can, it's like the mermaid story. Tell us about Mami Water and why it's such a big deal.
Mami Water, it's a passion project that was conceived in 2016. And it's not a horror film, unlike Ojuju, which is pure genre horror film.
Okay.
Mami Water is not a horror film.
Okay.
It's a movie that tries to explore the dichotomy in our society as far as how we interact with our culture, with our tradition, with our spirituality. And it uses this fictional village in somewhere in West Africa to try to explore that. These ideas that we wrestle with, whether consciously or unconsciously, as far as whether we want to be African, quote unquote, or whether we want to be progressive, thereby abandoning more of our Africanness.
Okay, I have another question.
So those are the core themes of the film, but it really is this genre fantasy film that has layers through which it explores the.
Okay, along with the themes that you've just mentioned, why did you choose to do Mami Water in black and white?
The black and white there's a number of reasons. First of all, the main reason is that's how I saw it. That's really how I saw it, and I never was able to see it any other way. The second reason, which is, I guess, the reason I tell everyone is just because it looks cool.
Yeah, yes, it does. It actually
cool.
does. True.
And we made it a particular kind of black and white, not just like a regular black and white. It's a hyper stylized black and white that you just don't see. And a testament to that was us winning the cinematography prize at Sundance. For a Nigerian film to win that at a festival like that, where the best of the best is celebrated, is just a testament to the innovation that we put into the cinematography.
Fantastic. That's
all right. I think that's actually very, very brilliant. I mean, in the world where everybody now is going all color and all expressive, you go in black and white. I think it's actually very distinct. Now, let's talk about this movie being submitted for the Oscars. Now, how does that make you feel? And what is the story around all of that, the whole Oscar movement?
Yeah, we submitted the film the Nigerian Oscar Selection Committee, NOSC, they put out the submission call for films that, they would like to consider to be they put out the call and then filmmakers submit and then they pick one film, because every country that has an Oscar Selection Committee is allowed one film to enter as the country's representation. And so out of all the films that were submitted to the NOSC, Mami Water was selected. And so that's where we are now. We are at the point where, we're really grateful to the committee for selecting Mami Water. It's a big deal for me because, as I always say, sometimes I feel like, I'm an outlier. And for many years, in fact, pretty much my entire career, I've functioned as an outlier in the industry.
Oh, fantastic.
And for someone like, that has been on that path to be recognized in this fashion, it means a lot to me, and I'm super appreciative.
I'm very sure that Oge is also as excited to have this movie out, nominated for the Oscars as well. Hey, CJ, Oge, it's been a blast having this talk with you. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but it's always a pleasure to have you guys here. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing the movie myself. I haven't seen it, but I'm definitely going to go see it now because I bet you I'm going to have plenty to tell about it. But thank you very much, Oge. Thank you very much, CJ. The Obasis.
Thank you for having us.
We have breakfast for you.
We have breakfast for you, but unfortunately, we can't email it or we can't send it through.
We'll send you a picture.
We'll send you a picture.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, all right.
All right.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Okay, now that we're back, let me actually invite you to the. Let's play a clip from the Obasis first off, and then I'll invite Winfrey over to the kitchen to have what she made with our chef.